Let me paint you a picture, not with brush strokes of comfort, but with the raw, unflinching edges of a nightmare. Imagine this world, stripped bare of all its illusions. The sky above is a ghost, gray and suffocating, its vastness choked with ash and smoke. The air carries the acrid bite of burned wood, melted steel, and humanity's last desperate breaths. The streets you once walked with certainty have become jagged scars, fractured and winding, leading only to desolation. The homes that once stood as sanctuaries are now hollowed-out husks. The laughter of children, the hum of commerce, the cadence of a world at peace, all of it has been swallowed by silence. Not the silence of serenity, but the heavy, oppressive stillness of a world that has collapsed in on itself. This isn't a story. It's not the dystopian fantasy of a novelist or the fever dream of a paranoid mind. This is a reality that has unfolded before in history countless times, in countless places, when civilizations faltered and fell. Empires rise, empires fall. And when they fall, they do so suddenly without mercy, without time for you to prepare. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. The systems we trust, the fragile webs of law and order we cling to are not eternal. They are delicate, breakable things, no stronger than the paper on which their decrees are written. And when they shatter, they don't warn you. There is no countdown, no moment to gather your thoughts, no opportunity to turn back the clock. You either stand ready to face the chaos or you are consumed by it. There is no middle ground. The wolves do not wait for you to finish mourning the world you've lost. They come immediately, teeth bared, eyes gleaming, drawn by the scent of fear and weakness. And in that moment, when the wolves are circling and the world is unrecognizable, the only thing that will matter is what you've done before that moment arrives. Now ask yourself, are you ready? Truly ready? Not just for yourself, but for those you love? Because this isn't just about you. This isn't just about whether you can make it through the firestorm. This is about what happens to them, the ones who rely on you, the ones who trust you, the ones you swore to protect. If you're gone, whether because death claims you or because the world has torn you away, what will they do? What will they become? Will they crumble? Will they falter? Will they stand helplessly in the ruins, waiting for salvation that will never come? Or will they rise, strong and unyielding, because you gave them the tools to survive? This is the brutal truth you need to face. If your strength dies with you, then you failed. If your knowledge, your skills, your resilience are not passed on, then all your strength was an illusion. It was a temporary flame, a flicker of light in a world of darkness, and the moment you're gone, it's snuffed out. True strength isn't what you can lift, what you can endure, or what you can fight through. True strength is what remains when you're no longer there. It's the legacy of resilience you leave behind. It's the wisdom, the skills, the fire you plant in others so that they can stand tall when you cannot. Imagine the woman you love. Picture her now in this broken world. The roads are dead, the cities are ashes, and the rules of civilization have been replaced by the laws of survival. Food is scarce, water is poison, trust is a weapon used by the desperate. She is alone because you are gone. Maybe you're dead, maybe you're missing, or maybe the world has swallowed you whole. It doesn't matter. What matters is that she is alone. She walks through a wasteland, her body battered by hunger, her mind weighed down by exhaustion, her heart heavy with loss. She hears footsteps behind her, the deliberate, predatory sound of men who have lost everything and now take whatever they can. What does she do? Does she freeze? Does she panic? Does she crumble under the weight of her fear? Or does she remember everything you taught her? Does she steady her breathing, grip the weapon you made her practice with, and prepare to do whatever it takes to survive? Does she stand firm, calculating her odds, choosing her moment to strike? Or does she fall apart, a victim in a world that has no mercy for victims? If you haven't prepared her for that moment, then you've failed her. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how capable you are, how many enemies you've defeated or obstacles you've overcome. If she crumbles in your absence, then your strength was meaningless. It died with you. And that is the ultimate betrayal, because you promised her safety, you promised her strength. You stood between her and the darkness and swore she would never have to face it alone. And yet here she is, alone, unprepared, because you didn't think to teach her how to stand without you. Let me make this clear. The wolves will not pity her. They will not hesitate because she is scared or grieving or vulnerable. They don't care about her tears, her pleas, or her pain. The only thing the wolves understand is strength. And if she hasn't learned to speak that language, then she is prey. Prey doesn't survive. Prey is consumed, broken, and discarded. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Survival is not a solo act. It's not enough to make yourself strong. You have to make her and everyone else that you care about as strong as you are. Because the moment you are gone, the strength you hoarded for yourself is worthless. It's dust in a world that devours the unprepared. You think you're doing enough? Do you really think teaching her a few tricks is going to be enough? Teaching her to shoot a gun and how to build a fire won't cut it. Survival isn't a checklist. It's not a series of tasks you can complete and then forget about. It's a mindset. It's a language. It's a way of thinking, a way of seeing the world, a way of moving through it that cannot be taught in a weekend or a single conversation. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes commitment. And it's your responsibility to give her that. Does she know how to find clean water when the rivers run black and the wells are dry? Can she build a fire in the pouring rain and keep it hidden so that it doesn't attract unwanted attention? Does she know how to barter with scavengers? How to strip a machine for parts? How to spot an ambush before it happens? Can she read the intent behind a stranger's smile? Patch a wound in the dark? Or move silently through hostile territory? If the answer to any of these questions is no, then you have work to do. Because the wolves are always watching. They are always waiting, and they will not give her a second chance. You need to teach her to be a wolf in a world of wolves. Not a lamb, not a victim, not someone who relies on the protection of others. She must be sharp, cunning, and ruthless when she needs to be. She must know how to wear the mask of vulnerability while keeping her teeth ready beneath it. She must understand that survival is not about fairness or mercy or justice. It's about strength. It's about knowing when to fight, when to run, and when to wait in the shadows until the moment is right. This is the uncomfortable truth that so many refuse to face. This world doesn't care about your promises. It doesn't care about your love, your good intentions, or your best efforts. It only cares about one thing: survival. If you can't survive, you die. If you can't protect the ones you love, they die. And if you haven't prepared them to stand on their own, then their deaths are on you. So, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep pretending that the world will always stay the way it is now? Are you going to keep telling yourself that civilization is eternal? That the systems you rely on will never fail? Or are you going to face the truth? The harsh, unyielding truth that nothing lasts forever and that when the fall comes, it will come without warning. The choice is yours. But remember this: strength that dies with you is no strength at all. If you truly love her, if you truly care about her survival, then you will do everything in your power to prepare her for the day when you are no longer there. Because in the end, the only legacy that matters is the strength you leave behind.